Welcome to Water Online Radio's coverage from WEFTEC, broadcasting live from New Orleans, Louisiana. WEFTEC 16, creating the future of water. Water Online Radio is brought to you by wateronline.com, showcasing today's water industry leaders and innovators. And now, here's your host, Todd Schneck.
All right, good morning and welcome back to our 6th year of coverage from WEFTEC. I am your host, Todd Schneck, joined by my friend and colleague, Bill King. Bill, the highlight of my show is always a conversation with this organization. They've been a very important guest on this show for years, and I love what they're doing in the industry. It's always a great conversation.
Yeah, you know, you come to WEFTEC and you meet with a lot of treatment companies, and treatment's very important,
Yes.
But measurement is critical. You know, it's critical for operational efficiency. It's critical to know what's going on, detecting problems, and this next company is right in the heart of all of that.
Absolutely. Let's get to it. We're joined this morning by Cheryl Ades Anspach. She's a marketing manager with Badger Meter. Cheryl, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. I appreciate you stopping by. I know you guys are awfully busy at a show like this, so grateful for the time. Cheryl, before we get into our important conversation about what you're doing, take a few quick seconds. Tell us a bit about you and your background, and then give us that 10,000-foot view of Badger Meter, kind of how you serve in the market.
Okay. I have actually electrical engineering degree, a Bachelor of Science in that, and I've been in industrial automation process for my whole career. So over 20 years, and we won't go beyond that.
We'll say 20 plus.
20 plus.
All right. So, as Bill said, measurement is so critical in this industry. So walk us through the types of flow meters that Badger Meter is offering out there to measure water.
Okay. Well, we have quite a bit of different types. Badger Meter has been in the water flow measurement business for over 100 years. So they started with mechanical meters, and they've been expanding that over the years into electronic type of meters, more modern meters, also the analytics to go with that. So on our mechanical meter side, we have our positive displacement, which is our record all series. We also have some Presso ones for when you're measuring the sludge, which is our differential pressure meters. And then, of course, we have mag meters, which are really a critical piece, a very important piece of flow measurement for the water industry, and ultrasonic meters.
So, Cheryl, there's a lot of different needs when you're measuring flow. Some people are looking at accuracy. Some people are concerned with like installation and the costs involved in that. If our audience was interested in accuracy, what type of meter would you recommend?
We definitely would go with the mag meter. The accuracy there is usually somewhere around 0.25% to 0.5%, depending on the mag meter and the feature set in that. It comes in a wide variety of sizes, so it can go very large. It scales up that way. And that's why it's such a go-to meter for the water industry for measuring water flow. The fluids need to be conductive, and of course water is conductive.
Well, obviously, thinking about wastewater, I mean, what type of applications are best for mag meters and what are not?
Okay. The mag meters can take the influent and they can measure it through a lot of the process. And then sometimes when it gets to that sludge area, then that's usually when we switch over to like a differential pressure meter. The other thing is that you have to be careful about what type of things are in your influent. So oils and fats, lots of fibers in there will absorb that electrical signal. So those would not be appropriate for it.
And so in that case, what other solutions would you suggest?
Usually that's when we would switch over to our differential pressure meters, because they can take there's lots of different types of different shapes that they have, and they can bring those through.
So let's think about clamp-on ultrasonic meters for a minute. I mean, what ways do they lower installation costs in like an inline meter?
So the nice thing about the clamp-on meters, and I have a couple here, which I know doesn't show very well on the radio, but you can see they're in my hands here. So this is for our large transducer, our large pipe transducers. They clamp on the outside of the pipe, and this fits into your hand, so you can easily carry this around. This can go up to a 96-inch pipe. We've done that up to that. So you can imagine what a 96-inch mag meter would look like. It takes a lot of equipment just to install it. And this one, I mean, I simply carried it over here myself. You know, much smaller. Plus, you don't have to cut the line. You don't have to shut down your system. So that saves a lot of installation cost on there. Now, what you're giving up on that compared to like a mag meter is the accuracy. So they're not quite as accurate. And then, of course, you have to be more careful in how you align it and do the installation that way. So it's not really appropriate for billing purposes for that reason.
Yeah. Well, Bill, I'm holding it, and while it feels very solid, it is not heavy. I mean, so I understand why I can understand that side of it. So that's intriguing.
I'm wondering how you help an operator determine which flow meters to use around their plant and their system, between the mag meter, the clamp-on meter, and the balance between what they're looking for in accuracy versus installation.
Yeah, it really comes down to having a conversation, and that's why we're so happy to have a lot of different types of meters to offer. What is your price point? What's your cost? What's your, some people, obviously everybody has budget constraints and what they're trying to accomplish. Accuracy, you definitely would go with the mag meter. The clamp-on is also good for retrofits. So it could be a place that maybe nobody was measuring anything before, and now they want to actually start measuring it. You can quickly get that up and running and installing and getting data back in, which is, of course, what everybody is looking for. So if you at least have an idea of what's happening over in a certain area of, either distribution system or it can be somewhere in your process.
Is there an example where you can have kind of like clamp-on meters where installation is going to be difficult, but at another part of the system you may use a mag meter, and that kind of like helps you catch up to the accuracy question?
You could do something like that as well, or you can even do it where you put the clamp-on meter as a temporary solution. And then until you get your mag meter and you get the budget for that, then you can put the mag meter in place and then move that over to the clamp-on meter to another part of the system, because that's nice. One of the things that's really beautiful about it, too, is it's so flexible. You can remove it and reinstall it on another system. It doesn't have to be the same pipe size. It can be different pipe sizes.
I always worry, are utilities doing enough with the accuracy that is now available to them? You always worry that someone gets all this great data, but they're not doing enough actionable, meaningful stuff with it. What's your take on that?
I think that there's definitely a growing, I should say, awareness of how much they need to be doing that. It's understanding what's going on in their system. It's not just simply, the input into a treatment, the output of it. It's like, where is it in the process? And understanding where you might have leaks going on, or where you might be having some losses that you just weren't anticipating, and really understanding what's going on there.
That does seem to be a growing trend in the industry. We've gone from basically being given an alarm that something has failed, and now having to rush out in the middle of the night and solve that problem, to kind of like having some diagnostic system coming from flow meters. Can you talk a little bit about what Badger Meter has done there in terms of that, supplying the data about the system to your customers?
Right. We're doing a lot more with, obviously when the mechanical meters started, you just had these mechanical registers and somebody would have to go and look at it and take a reading, write it down on a clipboard. And there's so much now that comes with the electronics in there and with networks. Like our ultrasonic meter has Ethernet built in on board. And so you can go and get that data and collect that. Or you can use the Modbus RTU. It also has that built into it.
Very cool. Now, you're exhibiting here at WEFTEC, I trust?
We are. In fact, we're just right up the road down here.
Outstanding. So what are you principally showcasing here?
Well, obviously, we have our water meters of different types. We also have a Vortex biogas meter. And then we have our Coriolis meter for that's very high accuracy, a lot of times for any type of dosing that somebody would want to be doing. And then we have, a lot of people don't realize this with the name Badger Meter, but we actually have valves over there. We have control valves, 2 inches and below, and including like specialty materials that they're made out of, like Kynar, which is used for the hypochlorite.
Very, very cool. Bill, what I love about the show is that over all these years, it's been fun to watch them continue to innovate and evolve these product lines. Anything we should be looking forward to 2017, 2018? You're allowed to talk to us
that
about?
I'm allowed to talk to you about? I have to think about that, yeah. No, we're continuing to invest and innovate in the company and really taking in our customer input and seeing what they want. We've seen as well, we have that beacon analytics, giving the feedback to the customers. So we're continuing to invest in that and to provide more data, and so you'll see more on that too.
See, I think that's the game-changing side of what they're doing is further educating and building awareness of the public.
Yeah.
Because and we had a conversation this morning where the public thinks they're actually buying water. What they're actually paying for is cleaning that water and making it safe, And the more we can do to educate that marketplace and be more aware of their usage and identify potential problems as well, I mean, I think that could be game-changing long-term for this industry to have a more educated public, yeah?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. It's really exciting to be working for a company that's doing that, and it's really looking forward to it.
Yeah, yeah, good stuff. All right, well, Cheryl, we're out of time. Before I let you go, should anyone have questions on any of this, how do they contact you, and where do they learn more about Badger Meter?
Well, you can reach us at Badger Meter. We have our website, badgermeter.com, and we're also at the booth here. So we're at WEFTEC, and you can come and stop by.
Cheryl Ades Anspach, Marketing Manager with Badger Meter. Cheryl, as always, good to see you. Thanks again for stopping by.
All right. Thank you. It's glad to be here.
We're glad to have you. All right. All the time we have for today. Check out all of our broadcasts from WEFTEC in New Orleans at wateronlineradio.com. Thanks for listening to the show. On behalf of all of us at Water Online, Todd Schnick signing off. Water Online Radio will be right back.